let's get to it. Well, good day, everybody. Lucas Welsh here, and today we've got this gorgeous Gibson Blues King in for some love. And actually, what it's in for is to install this K&K Pure pickup here. Pure Mini. Okay, it's got the three little transducers that go on the bridge plate or pickups, yeetsos, whatever you want to call them there. We'll look at that. I will forward this by stating I'm in no way affiliated with K&K pickups whatsoever. Hint, hint. Why not? I really love these pickups. I think these are probably the most natural sounding pickup that I've ever played or installed on a guitar. So I like these a lot, an awful lot. This guitar has a good pickup system in it. This is the LR Baggs Element, I believe, if I'm not correct. So it's an under saddle piezo that picks up there. But the customer's not crazy about the way that it sounds. He wants something a little more acoustic guitar sounding. And so, I mean, this is what I suggested to him. I said, let's try one of these. And for the price, I mean, you know, these aren't bad. You know, a couple $100 or something like that for the pickup. And okay. So, K&K Pure Mini going in. First thing we needed to do was get the old pickup system out, which I didn't film. It was really straightforward. I mean, you just take the strap nut off the backside, take the nut off, pull the internals carefully. They're just usually 2-side stick tape in there. And then the undersaddle just feeds through one of these holes here. Okay, no big deal. So yes, at the end of it, we're either going to have to cut a new saddle for this to raise it back up to an appropriate height, or we're going to have to do a shim on there. And I know some of you might, you know, be a little this or that about a shim, but a shim can work really good if it's well done and the fit is proper. So a couple things that I want to point out to you guys here before we start. There are a couple things that you need, okay? And K&K has a great little installation kit that they have, and I'll show you here in a minute. But the one thing they do recommend is to CA glue the the transducers or whatever you want to call them on, okay, for the best vibration and everything. The 2-sided stick tape works, but they say it can reduce volume and tone by as much as 30%. And I do tend to agree that they're better glued in. Use the gel CA glue. It's going to give you your best shot. Okay? And the other thing that you're going to need here is you're going to need some way of getting into the guitar and grabbing that end jack and pulling it through. Okay? This is what I use. I have a piece of small dowel that I have wrapped just masking tape around until it's a snug fit to fit inside the end jack, just like a 1/4-inch input. And then I literally just feed it through the end pin, put my jack on, and pull it back through. Easy peasy. The last thing I've got here, the last trick in the book that I've got to make this an easier job, is a little light from the inside and a mirror. Just a little thin piece of mirror, a few inches wide, 6 inches long. And I can always look in, make sure that my orientation is right, that my wires are traveling the direction I want them to be, that the pickup's locating in the right spot. K&K sends a real low-tech kind of a tool for their stuff, and I'm going to show that all to you right now. Okay, so we're just going to take a look at what's in the K&K get up here. And so right away when you open it up, you're going to see a golf tee. You're going to chuckle. There's a little bit of two-sided stick tape. There's this little triangle-y gadget with a slot. There's a pin. And then there's the instructions and everything like that. And then finally the pickup. Okay? And you can see in the pickup it's got the 3 little transducers. You're going to try and evenly space them so that they fall between the 1st and 2nd bridge pins, and the 3rd and 4th bridge pins, and the 5th and 6th bridge pins. Okay, that's what you're going to try and do. And this little tool allows you to do that. So I'll give you the rundown of what's going on. Okay, they give you a little bit of putty as well, and you'll see why you do use the putty here in a minute. But you see this system here, you're gonna use this setup here first, okay? And you want to make sure that you got all this going the right way, okay? Because you want those transducers to be right under the saddle as much as you can. If they're behind on the bridge pins, well, they're not getting that direct vibration here, like the direct transfer that we're after. So there's a couple things that you could do at this point. You could, use a daub of glue here or something just to hold this in place. You could maybe even take just a little edge of this silly tack or whatever, and that's just going to help hold that pin, okay, in the right spot. You want to make sure this is square, because what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of putty and you're going to put it right on the end here, and then you're going to stick the back side of the transducer onto there, and then you're going to feed this up through, and away you go. You're actually going to do it like this, okay? And you're going to keep that all, within a kind of a certain deal. So I'll mock this in there once for you so you can see. So you can do a couple different things. I'm going to actually just turn that on, set that down into there. That's going to help me. It's really easier than I'm making it look right now. Where are you? Okay. Now if I can just keep that there. Okay. So right now I know that that's where I want this, okay? You're literally going to put a drop of glue on the back side of that pickup, and you're going to feed that up in there, locate with this one so that you're on that slider, and that's going to keep this from doing this, skewing on you. Okay? That's basically what you're doing. Okay? So your little pickup sleeve there wants to be, right about there-ish. Okay, and then when you move this whole thing over, now you're falling right in between that, and then you do it on the last one here. Actually, what I could do for this one is flip it around and do like that, and then it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to want it right about there. So that's what I'll do, and I have to keep that in mind too, because yeah. So this is why we do all this. We do a little quick dry fit on everything. The other thing that we're going to do before we go and install, grab the other one. So that's the same type of end jack on it. So I'm just going to grab the other one here. And I'm going to compare these. And I'm going to match this up to that one. Thereabouts. Okay. So that puts me in the ballpark anyway. So now when I go to put this all together, I know I'm, most likely good to go. We're gonna keep this pickup for the customer there, just in case. There's no saying that, they're really gonna wind up liking the K&K better than the Element. But we're gonna try it and go from there. Okay. So there's a little pull-up sleeve here. Once you've got it installed, you can pull that up and it keeps those wires from dangling around. This is pretty short, so I'm never too worried about them, but if you wanted to, you could do a little hook or something in there. I see lots of pickups have that. So kind of little thing. It's nice that they make this that it just slides up and down so that you can keep it out of the way, because when you're gluing these in, it does take a few seconds, for them to glue in and stay where they want to be. So I'm just going to get it down in there. I'm going to drop that one back in there, and we're going to flip this around so that this is coming back up towards me. Okay. We're going to open up the supplied putty. You don't need much of this. Just a nice little ball. Okay, I'm going to put that right where I marked out. And I know that that's going to be, it's basically right under the saddle and just ahead of the bridge pins, in between the first and second string bridge pins. Okay, that's right where I want that. I'm going to take this first one. See, they're kind of hollowed out there a little bit. They've got a nice flat spot. Some of the originals didn't have that. They were pretty tapered. I'll keep this nice and straight. I have some brand new CA glue here, because I was out of gel. And I mean, you want to cover things up. That's never a bad idea. Just to make sure. I'm pretty confident. Famous last words. Nice thing about these squeeze bottles is they're pretty secure. Give myself a pretty healthy dose on there. Nothing crazy, but a pretty healthy dose. Work that around a little bit so that we're going to get good contact. And remember, I don't want to just go and slam this up there. I want to get it set, and then I want, kind of got it in two hands. I'm going to drop my golf tee. I can feel it's in the right spot. Once I know it's in the right spot, I'm in. I'm engaged. I'm pressing up on it. I'm going to hold pressure there for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds. Pretty firm pressure. Play the waiting game. Came right off. I'm going to use our mirror just to get a good look. And I don't know if you can see that or not. We'll try and get you in a space where you can possibly see that. And so we're gonna get some light in there for you. Well, you can see transducer is spaced nicely between the first and second. That's good. The cables, the wires, are kind of meant to come out the front and curve back to here. If they go straight back, you run the risk of pushing on them with the bridge pins. We don't want that. Okay? Rinse and repeat, folks. This is about as basic as it gets now. Cap your glue. Ask me how I know. Let's just, we're not going to use that, it's too big now. Again, go in there with my little inspection mirror and a light, and all those are in good position. We are there. Now I'm going to take this little slide here. I'm going to slide that down. I don't know. Something like that. Okay. Popping off the nut. The little washer. These washers are all spaced and sized. Going in with my stick through the end pin. Just snug that on. The beauty of this, I'm going to just bring you over to the other side here. The absolute beauty of this rig here now is I can literally just take my washer and the nut and run it down the dowel And that dowel has enough strength to keep everything held there until I can get that really well started. In fact, I've got a couple good fingertip turns on there now. So now, tighten that up. And you need a little, I've got a little violin chin rest tuner here that I can put in there and I can hold as I tighten. I don't have my wrench right now. And then just thread this on. And that's perfect. That is flush, perfect, ready to go. Give that a really good tighten. I'll use a little piece of cloth or leather, and I'll get a good grip on it and give it a good tighten. K&K pickup installed, folks. All you have left to do, you have to know this, if you're changing out an under saddle pickup, now you have to deal with the saddle and get the right height, the right string height, because you've lost that. And the whole idea is you don't want that under saddle, you're getting rid of that. So you want that good transfer now. So there you have it. Hope you guys found something interesting in that. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.